Greetings, everyone. This is the hipster Snek, and I welcome you to Zed Technician's new game, Artifacts and Antiquity. Now, you might be going, Snek, what gives? You already have 2 stars on your title screen. That means you've seen at least 2 endings of this game. Yes. Yes, I have. Because my initial recording got eaten by my software. And I'm here very sad, because I love Zed Technician's games. In fact, it's hard to even quantify them because each one is so different than the one that preceded it. But I love them all. And that includes Artifacts and Antiquity. And I'm going to play through and get the best ending, because I already have. I'm sad that I wasn't able to show my authentic reaction. We're going to dive in. We're going to dive in, and I'm just going to show you why this game is good. And if you have not seen the other Zed Technician games, I have done a playthrough of all of them on my channel, and that includes the Bitmore No Zero, the Man from the Window, Beware the Shadow Catcher, The Curse of J.P. Vermander, and Midnight Made Night. Let's dive in. Yes, please. When I first started, I was half expecting this character to be a giant crab, given that we had insects in the last game and sea life before that. But no, it's a person. Thank you for calling the NC Electronics support line. My name is Gracie. How may I help you? Cameo. Hello, madam. The computer we have here at my job has suddenly stopped working, and I can't figure out what's wrong with it. It was perfectly fine yesterday, but now it won't even turn on. Let me guess. It's an IXY model desktop? Yes, that's it exactly. How did you know? There are tons of folks calling about issues regarding the IXYs right now. I hate to say it, but you're probably better off getting a new computer if you can, preferably one not made by our company. It's obvious they're not recording her calls, because otherwise people might know that in most call center environments they're always listening to your calls, and therefore would know that you're trash-talking corporate. Also, I like the Bartleby's Bakery mug. It's a nice little shout-out callback to Man from the Window. What? And why is that? Well, this is the part where I'm supposed to tell you all about how we're working on a solution and not to worry. But that's not true. At all. The IXYs all have a special chip that's made from an extremely cheap metal called Neon. I'm assuming Neon. The first problem with the chips is they only have a lifespan of a few years tops, and after that they'll start to rust. Ooh, it oxidizes. So I just need to go out and get the chip replaced. See, now there's the other problem. Neon was recently outlawed because of how volatile it is. And NC Electronics knowingly used a dangerous material just to save on production costs. Ooh, that sounds like a lot of lawsuits waiting to happen. Now our main product is a liability, and the company's in straight-up meltdown mode because their shady dealings have finally caught up with them. Last time something like that happened, we had a demon in a hospital, Gracie. I'd be a little less casual about this. I decided to work from home today because it's like the final hours of Pompeii in the office right about now. And to be honest with you, I didn't feel like dealing with all that today. Excuse me, am I asking, ma'am, but are you okay? You sound rather dejected at the moment. I'm fine, except not really. I've given my all to this company and now everything's over. Curtains. And do you know what the higher-ups had to say about all this? Nothing. There you go. All the executives either have cushy new positions lined up or are just planning to retire, and meanwhile the nobodies like me get nothing. You know, it just occurred to me that in this world, you really could be having a phone conversation, and for all you know, the person on the other end of the phone really is a giant 6-foot-tall mouse. I don't even know where I'll go after this. In that case, might I suggest checking the Red Page Posts website? Cute. A good friend of mine once had some trouble finding work, but then he managed to find something on there. I think I've heard of that one before. I'll go check that out right now. Why, you were just the sweetest thing, taking the time out to help little old me. Thank you. Nurse Morton's a good guy. We've seen that already. Oh, and by the way, I should probably tell you this, too. Get rid of that computer immediately, like, right now. Once that chip starts to rust, the whole thing tends to overheat pretty quickly. Whoa! He wasn't joking. Ida! Ida! Well, sir, thank you for calling NC Electronics. You have a nice evening. I better start searching, then. Look out, world. Gracie's coming for you. She's actually very pretty. I really like the way this guy designs his characters, and I mean more than just beyond the obvious. Stalin Co-Shipping Company. real lively decor. Oh, I guess she's out of her robe at least. So yeah, after getting turned down from 38 different places, I ended up here. I'm eager to get started, Miss Faye. Well, ain't that just the bee's knees, Miss Faye? She's a literal fairy. Which I guess kind of validates my theory that mythical beasts are a thing. I speculated in the last one that Naomi in Midnight Midnight might actually be a harpy, rather than just a bird-human hybrid. So, yeah, there's a literal, actual fairy now, so I'm assuming that anything just goes in this world. I ain't put too much confidence in hiring from online at first, but it seems like you'll do just fine. Ain't too much to do around here at night since this place is just a shipping warehouse. And just between us, they really only ship stuff that nobody else want to deal with. Ha! Last, midnight job ended up being a lot more hands-on than I expected. You never know. For some reason, they pay us to make sure nobody can break in and steal nothing in here. Now come on, follow me. Let me show you the office. Okay. Oh my. We have multiple lovely ladies this time. The owners of this place are the Stahl brothers. They built it from the ground up, they did. You might have heard of them already from somewhere. I don't know. But they're just the kindest folks you'll ever meet. Will I get to meet them? Are they here? Sometimes on the weekends they come out here in their trucks and run moonshine out the back. But don't tell nobody now. Moonshine? Oh yeah, it's real good too. I'll get them to pour you some next time. No, that's okay. I think I'll pass on that one. Yeah, I don't really trust anything brewed in someone's bathtub. You don't know where that bathtub's been. Suit yourself, hon. And it's one of our shadow folk that we got to meet in Beware the Shadow Catcher. That's Mike. Say hi, Mike. Hey, Mike. Don't pay him no mind. He's just being silly. Nice to meet you. Same. This here is our state-of-the-art security system. The Stalls daisy-chained a bunch of old TVs together, then hooked it up with some cameras they bought at the thrift store. Which I suppose is one discounted way of making a security system. Works like a charm. What do you do if a thief shows up? If it ain't something either me or Mike can handle ourselves, we usually just go home. Yep. So, we just sit and wait for something to happen? Not always. Sometimes the signal for the movie channel comes in real good, then we watch that. Sweet. We'll get to that later. Tonight, like other nights here at the warehouse, the Stall's done accepted a contract to move some pretty pricey-looking stuff. It'll set the ship out tomorrow. I don't know where it all done come from, but it sure is fancier than the stuff we usually ship out of here. There's no coffin up on camera 3. Right before you got here, me and Mike started hearing some weird stuff over on that camera. Protocol says if we hear something strange, we gotta check it out. You're new, so I ain't about to send you over there. So either me or Mike's gonna check it out. Your job tonight is to stay in here and make sure we get there and back safely. So go ahead and pick up that old radio on the desk. There's a little tab that you need to press in order to use it. Very cute. That's a very, very cute way of integrating the tutorial into very fluid dialogue. All you gotta do is get one of us over to camera 3. Think you can handle that? Absolutely. Let's talk to either one of us and we'll head in. Let's get her done. Get her done. And of course, the trespasser mechanic is still here. So these are going to be our buddies for the evening. And since I have played the game indeed, you can actually use either of them as much as you want or as little as you want. And yeah, for some reason there's a camera in here, but I don't think we ever can see those, because that would be like down here somewhere. At any rate, I'll send Mike, because why not? I'm listening. Let's talk with him. Ain't much to this job, but it's honest work. Yep. Yeah, huh? Talk with Faye. I'm real glad you're here. Makes everything a whole bunch easier, you know? Well, I mean, that's true for most jobs. Unless you run into the too many cooks problem. Ask Mike to into the warehouse. Reckon I ought to get a move on then. Oh, dude moves with the quickness. There is one thing I haven't actually tried, and that's like trying to see if I can see in. Which I believe you can. I think this area does appear to be fully rendered. I don't think I'm supposed to go in alone. Okay. No, we're not actually going to be very hands-on. In fact, in this instance, we're going to be operating a bit more like... Well, Night Trap's a bad example because that was just kind of a rolling FMV. Instead, each of those cameras shows us a piece of the warehouse and an area where they can move to. If it's white, that's the area they're currently in, and if it's green, it's an adjacent area they can move into. And generally, it's just a simple northeast-southwest arrangement. So we're just going to do the simplest thing of moving north, and then we're just going to boogie our way over here to camera 3. Mike's a little harder to see on camera for obvious reasons, since, you know, he's a man made out of shadow. So for most of the run, I'm actually going to be relying on Faye. Made it. Tap on the monitor, I'm on, and I'll get the searching. Anything? It's quiet. Seems like all's well. Yeah, so we're going with the distinctly Egyptian theme. Insert obligatory "oh my" here. But, again, the near limitless levels of insolence you mortals exude on a constant basis has now doomed you all. Just cutting right to the heart of the matter, aren't we? Repent now and allow us to reclaim what is rightfully ours, else your kind will not live to see another day. Pardon? Why did the last hope for humanity have to reside in the hands of this stupid hick town? I actually did reach out to Zed Technician on Twitter, and he actually did answer a question for me that this all does happen in the same universe, but this game in particular really illustrates that it does. Listen. Now do you understand? Not a bit. You didn't tell me anything. Every single artifact that is being housed here is stolen. I ain't about to believe that. The stalls will never steal nothing. You hayseeds don't listen. I never implied that your employer knowingly accepted our stolen treasures. They're irrelevant in this. It does not change the fact that if those artifacts aren't returned soon, the armies of the ancient gods will be unleashed upon your world. That's not fair. Why are we being punished for what someone else did? Despite my reservations about you uncultured yokels, I am on your side in this. Destroying humanity for the sake of 7 little trinkets that we don't even use anymore seems quite foolish. For this reason, I have come to help you. Bring all 7 artifacts to me before the god's patience runs out, and all will be forgiven. However, even with my help, this will not be an easy task for you 3. For both Sekhmet and Thoth are placing their thumbs upon the scale against you. They both wish to bring about the end of humanity and will do everything in their power to stop you. In Myth, I don't remember Thoth being particularly aggro, but, you know, whatever. I'm rolling with it. This hourglass represents how long you have until the gods grow tired of waiting. You must bring each artifact to me before it runs out. Lastly, I can easily use my powers to show you where each item is located. All you need to do is ask. This is more important than you realize. In my first run, I actually lost because I'm an idiot. But when I played through again, I actually learned that the artifacts are not necessarily in 7 set locations. Each one is randomly picked each time you start the next lap. You'll see what I mean here in a minute, but it can end up in situations where you actually end up revisiting the same container more than once. So it's actually really important to ask for her help with every single turn. Any questions? Yeah, what about... No, shut up. Go. Well, that's actually less helpful than you think. We actually need more information than that. Starting with... What? We're going to talk to this person. I don't mean to be rude, but who exactly are you? Who I am is not important. Not anymore, at least. I am nameless. That's all you need to know now, mortal. Okay, Emiya. When you're talking to them, the timer does not run, so you're safe to stop and get to enjoy these conversations at your leisure. I don't like this. Not one bit. Me either. I'm sorry that your first night here has turned into all this, hon. I know things get kind of strange around here at night, around town at night, but don't nothing usually happen here, especially nothing like this. Don't apologize, it's not your fault after all. I know, but I still feel responsible. Now at this point, this is just a hazing ritual. Nothing out of the ordinary for us, am I right? Ask for help. Fine then. Observe. Now, the important thing to bear in mind is this is not a perfect one-for-one for what the camera looks like. It's just going to show you something in the room, and as she says, you figure out the rest. Lucky for us, that one's not too hard to figure out, as that's actually this one right here. You can clearly see those forklifts. So, I'm going to send Mike for this one. Reckon I better get a move on, then. As long as we're holding the radio in our hands, we have the option of moving him around or asking him to explore whatever room he's currently standing in. I figure if I can't give you guys an authentic reaction, I will at least be a very thorough explanation. Should I get to searching in here? Please do. I'll find that thing in a jiffy. Kind of reminds me of a old school Resident Evil where they use the doorways as a loading screen. I see it. Bringing it back now. And at this point, we have the option of bringing him back to camera 10 any way we want. So we're just going to take pretty much the most direct path. Ah, right. Mr. Mike? Hello? This dang thing done gun and went out again. Don't worry, hon, it does that sometime. When the signal starts acting up, it just needs to be reset. gotta go out there in the lobby and look at the computer. It'll say it needs a password. Don't tell nobody now, but it'll accept just about anything. So go hit some keys on it, and that'll reset it. Now that's easily, very easily remedied. It will literally accept anything. You just need to tap, like, I think 5 or 6 keys. Alright, and now we can bring him on home. So the first one is obviously a bit of a milk run. There's no real danger or anything. It just teaches us how we are going to handle under pressure. You successfully retrieved the first of our artifacts. Do not get overconfident, for the servants of Sekhmet have been tasked with preventing you from completing your mission. The Sentinel has now arrived. In life, he was a steadfast guardian for our kingdom. In death, he was allowed to keep his mortal body as a reward. Now he is here. Watch carefully for him, and do not enter the same room as he. Should you cross paths with him, I will not be able to save you. Now go. Now, the thing about the Sentinel, and we can see him here, he's a big dude carrying a shield and a spear. So we definitely don't want our friends to run into him. But he's very shady in most cameras, so I'm going to send Faye because she actually stands out a bit more. Whoops, I didn't ask for her dialogue. No, it's fine. I'm not going to overthink it. Hey, why do we have to be the ones to do all this anyway? Because I'm not about to. Oh, fair enough. Well, she's very honest about that. Go get this, go get that. We're security guards, not a bunch of dadgun couriers. Yeah, this isn't what I signed up for either. But if we don't get this done, it'll be the end of all of us. Bah. Hey, at least he's not talking in riddles. Fine then, observe. That's the one with the lift. I forget which camera that is, but we can find out. You figure out the rest. Okay, so the one thing we need to do is just avoid him. Now, thankfully for us, he actually will not move, at least not right now. While we're in the phase, while we're still looking for the artifact, we can kind of just go around him and we'll be fine. Let's see. I think I see the lift here, so this should be it. So yeah, really we just have to kind of dance around this guy. Think it's in here? I do. I'll start looking. I have yet to actually guess wrong. I've been pretty consistent, so I don't know if anything happens. Maybe it gets moved around or something. I'll get into some of the what-ifs at the end. I suggest that you keep a close eye on the whereabouts of your enemy this night, for I cannot guarantee that they will choose to remain stationary once you collected an artifact. Do not forget that. Yep, because we have now found the artifact, he gets his chance to move around, and we see him up there on camera 4. So we're just going to find a way around him. Really, it's kind of a turn-based puzzle, because I've never seen them move in real time, only once you've collected the artifact. Now, I haven't really messed around enough for them to, like, have the chance to move in real time, so I could be wrong, but we'll see if that happens. You have now retrieved 2 of our 7 artifacts. Keep the pace, but proceed carefully, for the assassin has now arrived. In life, he was an unstoppable force among our people. In death, he was allowed to keep his mortal body as a reward. Now he is here. He'll be much more difficult than the Sentinel to locate. Watch the shadows closely, for you will no doubt be able to see his piercing red eyes glaring back at you. I find that largely untrue. I actually find the assassin easier to find than the Sentinel. Now, the one thing that you can always kind of rest assured of is he'll never be in camera 10. There's the Sentinel. And the assassin... I'm not seeing the assassin at the moment. I think there's a little bit of randomness in the early nights about which ones will be active. Now what? The servants of Sekhmet that you mentioned earlier, why aren't they coming in here to get us? They know better than to directly raise their hand against me. So long as you stay near me, you will be safe. Then why don't you follow the others into the warehouse? I'm sure. Don't tell me how to do my job, mortal. I don't come to your job and tell you what to do. Actually, you kind of are. Shut up. That's part of the reason I love these games so much. I don't know the Stahl brothers like Faye does, but they better give us a raise after all this. Now that I can get behind. What do you think, Faye? Don't lose hope, hun. We'll get through all this together. Hey, I made it through 8 years of customer service. This is nothing. Amen to that, sister. Fine then. Observe. It is the Red Barrel Room, which I think is somewhere on the north side. Now, the real thing is just getting our friends there safely. Now, the reason I rely on Faye so much is, honestly, she shows up better on the camera. That is the plain, simple truth of the matter. Oh, there's the assassin. I'm just going to have to whip around him, then. The sentinel's over there, and we're going to have to whip around him, too. This one's going to be one of the more convoluted ones, just because of their placement. Now, the things you can always be guaranteed of is they're never going to be on camera 10, because that would make the puzzle impossible. And they will not be in a position where the puzzle can be rendered impossible. That just doesn't happen. Okay, that's the red barrel room. Of course, you know, it's really dangerous if you think about this logistically. She'd still be flanked on both sides, even if those rooms are really big. Which they do seem to be. I still wouldn't feel comfortable about it, though. Alright. Now we gotta size up our situation. The assassin has moved to our south side. And I don't see the sentinel. Oh, yes I do. He's down there. Thankfully that gives us a clear method to getting back through the east. I'm assuming these cameras are oriented north for the sake of simple explanations. It really could be anything for all I know. That's 3. Perhaps my trust in you country bumpkins wasn't entirely misplaced after all. I suggest you not disappoint me. Yes, Sultan. What? Talk. Something else I wanted to ask you. I'm sure there is. Why are you helping us? Do I need a reason? As I told you before, destroying humanity for the sake of 7 inconsequential objects doesn't seem very fair to me. I am not heartless. Oh, maybe you're not so bad after all. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. How you holding up? I hope this ain't too much for you on your first night. It's all a bit much, yeah, but I'll be fine. Good. Yeah, huh? Miss Faye? Yep. If you don't mind me asking, how long have you worked here? Oh, now you're asking me to go way back. I grew up with the Stalls, and one day they came and said, "We's about to start a shipping company. You want in?" I was in my 20s at the time and had a bit of a mean streak going, too. And since I was in some trouble with the law and having issues finding work elsewhere, I started working for them. I got plenty of stories from back then. I'll have to tell you more someday. I'd love to hear it. Okay, show us where I'm heading. It is... Ah, that's actually camera 3, because that's where the sarcophagus sits. Which probably means they're going to be set up in a way that I don't have to take the longest possible route, because that's typically how they do. There's the assassin. Nope, Sentinel's way over there. Sorry, Faye, I'm not playing favorites. This really is for the safety of all involved. Not this again. Yep, that's one of those ways this game can keep you on your toes. Again, I've never waited around long enough for something to, like, move in real time, but I can't rule out that as a possibility. Now, thankfully, she's right next to her objective, which means that she's pretty much good to go. You think it's in here? Yeah, they can't be on the objective. Thankfully, they can't just cheat. If they could, this game would be so much harder. Essentially impossible at that point. There's the Sentinel. There's the Assassin. I like to have a good beat on all my enemies before I start making rash decisions. That's weird. He usually, like, I think the Assassin... Oh, there he is. I think the Assassin generally stands out more than the Sentinel does. He hides in the shadows way, way better. There's one particular camera where you can actually get a really good look at the Sentinel, but I don't know if that'll happen since its positioning is random, or at least somewhat. You completed the first half of your task this night. The third and final servant of Sekhmet is now here. The priest has arrived. It is difficult for me to put in simple terms what has become of him. In life he ascended. Now his spirit and body are no longer tied to this world, yet he is also unable to cross into the next. Your sad mortal eyes will not be able to see him. Take my ankh. If you hold it and focus, you'll be able to locate him. You may use it in the same way you use that device which you call a radio. Now go. Now, simply enough, you swap out, and there is the priest. As you notice, the priest does not have visible eyes, like the sentinel and the assassin do. And because of that, he actually confused me when I was first playing, and I thought that was actually Mike, and I walked him straight into the priest like an idiot. Let me guess, you have something else to ask me. You seem to know a lot about the realm of the gods and stuff like that. Are you a goddess? Yeah. Well, duh. That much was obvious. Well, that was to the point. I'm listening. You okay? I reckon so. You okay? Yeah, hon, sorry about that. I was just thinking, that's all. There's about a million other things I'd rather be doing right now instead of saving humanity from angry ancient gods. You can say that again. You can, but don't. Fine then. Observe. The one with the pallet jacks. I actually used to use one of those on an old job. When they're in good working order, it's actually pretty intuitive. Right, especially now that the priest is out. Thankfully, radio and Ankh can just be tabbed around, and you can pretty much figure out what's happening decently quickly. Let's see, the pallet jack is here. That's for camera 7. So we should just be able to angle around the sentinel. It always makes me really nervous when it takes a long time to move between cameras, because it's like, did something happen? Did something go wrong? But some of them, it's a longer path, apparently, than others. I'd actually like to see if this place is fully mapped out, but I've yet to find a condition that allows me to walk around there myself. I might need to try losing on purpose to see if that's an option. Excellent. Now, the assassin has moved, and the sentinel has moved. Thankfully, an easy way of checking where the priest is literally just a tab between your items. Okay, so we have a good beat on everybody. So if we go north and around and just avoid camera 5, Faye will be just fine. Again, those long camera pauses, man. It's actually really cool because sometimes you can see them moving around in the background of other cameras. It's actually really smartly thought out. That's 5. You have only 2 more to go now. Well done. Thankfully, there's only 3 threats. What? No question this time? I've come to expect your constant ramblings. Now I'm almost disappointed. I'm not out of things to ask right now. But if I think of something later, I'll let you know. See that you do. Aw, it's like we're becoming friends. I don't like any of this. Not one bit. I love my homeland to get away from stuff like this, you know? I'm sorry to hear that. Save the sorry. We got work to do. But thanks. Aw, we're all becoming friends. This is good. If you make it out of this alive, I hope you'll consider staying. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, why wouldn't I stay at this job? I'll definitely get my adrenaline rush every day. Fine then, observe. Or maybe I won't, you never know. The diving suit. I believe that's in the south. You figure out the rest. Can do. Okay, there's the priest. There's the assassin. There's the sentinel. So we're going to take the scenic route around this. If you make this out of this live, I hope you... Oops. I meant to ask you to go into the warehouse. You got it. I was like, why are you talking? I don't get it. Yep, and we'll just go around. Way around. Diving suit, I believe, yeah, camera 12, there it is. Okay, that was a little bit of a journey, but we made it. You think it's in here? Sure do. Alright. Got another Ankh. Maybe, does that have magic powers too? Let them see the priest? Sentinel Assassin are like right up in my grill. Looks like we can actually take the fast route home, though. I think mechanically this is probably one of the least demanding of the games, but there's still a real tension, because I like these characters. I want them to survive and be safe. It seems that both Sekhmet and Thoth themselves have now arrived as well. This is unprecedented. I do not know what they intend to do here. Regardless of what tactic they will try to employ, just know that my Ankh will most likely stop it. I like how you seem a little unsure about that. If something seems amiss, stand strong and point the Ankh toward it. Good luck. You'll need it. Ah, so we're busting out some mechanics from Faith. And this is where things go a little bit crazy. They're here. What? Where am I going? Fine then. This still holds true. You still gotta... That's the pallets. That's somewhere on the far left side, so that's gonna be great. I'm listening. Yeah, I think at this point they actually stopped talking. I don't think they have any other dialogue they can say. But given what's about to happen, you know, you'll understand that we're working in a little bit of a higher stress environment than we have been. There's the assassin, so we're going to go around. Ah, yeah, this starts happening, which makes it harder to see my cameras. Where is everyone else? There's a sentinel, and the wooden pallets are down there. So there's the priest, yep. Oh, and this guy starts showing up. And if we allow him to, he'll start stealing time out of the sand timer. No, beat it. Get out of here. Okay. We have to go around these guys. So they've once again created the longest possible path there. And that lovely discordant noise joins the fray, which is great. I love that. And the wooden pallets. No. I don't know if those have a mechanical effect other than making it harder to see, but making it harder to see is already bad enough. It's definitely in there. There's enough not artifacts. There's enough landmarks in each room to know when you're in the proper room for an artifact. It's like a mask made in tribute to Anubis. Alright, let's figure out where our threats are. There's the priest. There's the assassin. And there's the sentinel. Looks like we lucked out, so I think that means we get to take the short path back. Oh, except for this. Okay, let's take care of this. Bum-bum-bum. Welcome. Cool. Okay, Faye, let's get you home. Make sure that jerk didn't move. Oh, no, you don't. I'm on to you. Yeah, I'm almost done with Faith Chapter 2. I'm used to pointing things like that at evil monsters. That made more sense in my head before I said it out loud. This is the 7th and final item. With these artifacts firmly in my possession, the Ancient One's anger will no doubt be quelled. You corn-fed hillbillies. I mean, take a look in the mirror before you start casting aspersions there, Nameless, but okay. You corn-fed hillbillies have masterfully thwarted the end of humanity on this night. Well done. However, it would seem that Sekhmet still does not intend to let you leave this place alive despite your efforts. Perhaps it is time to show you why these items used to be so important to us. Observe. Now it looks like all sorts of different stuff. When combined correctly, they assume the form of an unstoppable warrior, such as this. Behold the Protector, ancient guardian of our people. His power is now yours to command, mortals. Looks like he's probably built in tribute to Anubis, like I said. That mask and the cane get particularly leaning that way. Speak the words and trample thine enemies underfoot. Okay, go get him, Tiger. So shall it be. Oh. Wonderful. And now we get to move around someone who's not afraid of our enemies. Because now, it's time for a little revenge. Oh, yes. Pow! He just gets up and runs away. This is definitely the catharsis moment of the game. Because now, we get to pay back all that headache these guys caused us. Your turn, Sentinel. Bonk. I think this is probably the first time in one of these games, apart from Bit More No Zero, that we've gotten to take an active reproach to our enemies. Ah, that felt great. Oh, hello, Birdhead. Well played, mortals. I yield. Come out, Sekhmet. It is pointless to continue now. Meow. No, this isn't over yet. Oh, but it is. The artifacts have all been reclaimed, the Protector has been assembled, and your servants have already run for the hills, have they not? There is no reason to continue our efforts this night. I suppose not. If there is no more to be done here, then let us return home at once. This place reeks, anyway. Then why were you hanging around, other than to harass us? Wait. Oh? Why were you two so dead set on destroying humanity, anyway? Why indeed? What a silly question. The sooner we bring about the end of mankind, the sooner we get to remake it. Have you ever created anything? It's quite fun. What? You can't just erase us and start over like we don't matter. Says you. We've already done it plenty of times before. That's the usual level of arrogance I expect from a deity. If you don't like our methods, then come stop us. Oh, that's right. You can't. You're far too insignificant for that, aren't you? Ha ha ha. But enough of that. Let's return home, Sekhmet. Yes, that sounds like you're a sore loser. Like, just being honest, like, that sounds like loser talk to me. Also, that's the way to the warehouse. The way to exit is the left. Pay them no mind. You have done a great deal of good on this night. They are simply upset that things did not go their way. That's kind of the vibe I took from it. Despite all their mighty talk, they can only be as powerful as you let them become. Keep that in mind. Thanks, I'll remember that. With that, I suppose I should leave as well. You ain't gotta, you know. What's the rush? Uh-huh. Perhaps you have a point. My time away from the god's dwelling place has been quite relaxing. I needed a break from the others. Anhur is more vain than I. Ra is an utter moron. And Anubis never stops bragging about how many movies he's been in. You know, hey, you know, if you have a bragging right, if you have a claim to fame, own it, right? Enough of them. I think I'm going to stay in this realm for a while. And that's exactly what she did. With both the Protector and their slightly vitriolic new friend around, Stalin Co. Shipping Company was never at risk again. Many nights were spent either gossiping about the various goings-on and around town, or being regaled by nameless stories of a time long past. The five of them enjoyed every minute of it. I guess the Guardian just, like, chills with us now. That's pretty cool. And that was the best ending of Artifacts and Antiquity. Again, for me it was again. For you guys it might be the first time. I really like this one. It takes a very different kind of approach and a very methodical, step-by-step kind of approach to the pacing of the tension in the atmosphere. And the way you have to assess each threat is a little bit different. The glowing eyes, using the Ankh to see the priest, and so on. Of all of them, I think this one was kind of high tension but low, like, genuine terror. Like in the Bit More No Zero, for instance, like, the way the enemy approached me was genuinely startling. And while I've never seen anything move around in real time, because it seems more turn-based, that does seem to be the general pacing of the game, is taking your time, using what you have in order to safely navigate your friends through. The only issues I ran into was, like I said, the priest and Mike can look very similar on camera. So it threw me off one time and I lost Mike, and that's why I have that purple star. Whoops. But overall, this still has that very salt-of-the-earth charm, that kind of working class attitude that you see in a lot of these games. That very down-home American Southern feeling. I love these games. I love everything Zed Technician is doing, and the fact that every game is so different. He's not just sticking with one formula, constantly evolving and adapting and trying out new stuff. So I'm very much in love with this style, and I love that this game in particular really helps solidify that overall sense of continuity and unity in this world. We got to see Morton again, which was really cool. We got to pretty much see like the outcome of what Joseph Remander was talking about when he said he was trying to get the artifacts that the family had taken illegitimately, and we're trying to get it back to where they belong. And we got to see some law of unintended consequences there because we ended up invoking the wrath of the Egyptian pantheon while we were at it. This is just really, really good stuff. I love this world. I want to see this world continue to be built upon with more of these really creative, clever ideas. Very much in love with this. So thank you again, Zed Technician. At this point, I kind of feel like I need to give it its own dedicated playlist, so I think I will. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And as always, the link is in the description. Please support him if you can. And either way, enjoy this game because I sure have. This is the Hipster Snek, and I'm signing off for now.